Voice chat knows. What stock is that again? Welcome to Read the Room with Unc. What is up, everybody? This is Unc coming with this week's Read the Room. Checking in with you guys here after a great week for the notes and the list. Sometimes you just nail things. Market conditions definitely help when they line up with your style. I was a little under the weather, so I didn't get much of that. So I'm hoping some of you guys did. Um, Once again, we're in that summer market. It's beautiful out there, so I don't want to waste a bunch of time. I'm just going to jump right into what we got. Standard fashion. Just go over the plays I picked out from our hot list, basically from the 2 hour session me and Professor do on Sundays. I take the majority of my notes from them, and then a couple that basically don't line up because they either don't have options or they don't have enough volume on the flow side, and they're still good from the TA. At the end, we'll also go over this little social list for you, trying to keep that fresh, especially when those are hot in the market. As you see, we have a rotation from ERs to socials. I expect that to kind of be a common theme with what I do going forward as well. So yeah, let's just hop right into it, and then at the end, maybe a little EDU session, something I think will be helpful for you guys. All right, as you're gonna see here, same thing as always. The notes that kind of the continuations are ones that are from last week will be on top, and I actually added an update section. I'm just gonna start including update so you can see the new information. Maybe save you guys just a little bit of time. So first off, Givo, I still love sub $3 ads. 240 area I'm liking. It's $1 back to the zone from there. Same note. Sorry, I didn't put update on that one. So let's go over to the chart here right quick. Givo, get my quad up. Perfect. So yeah, just like this 240 line right here. If you, all right, let me throw it on here for you. As you can see, it's just a pivot right there. So I like that as the level. Eventually that will flip, and I think that's what's going to push us back to this 3 break. If you can see, 350 is just mid candle. That's a setup I like. Love how it is looking on the weekly here. We are making lower lows, but we're continuously checking back into a range with volume. The candle last week, 218 on the low, 260 on the high. That's 25%. That's why I trade these stocks, is because of that range. Find your percent in there, and you should be all right. All right, next up, Matt. This one almost didn't make it, but I think the setup is too good to not give it another week here. Matt was on its way to $2. The offering hit $1.35 for 50 mil. That should be closed by now. Playable back to there, real close to our line, which is 142. We'll pull that up on the chart. Update: a dollar still holding well. Yeah, so we're just waiting on this thing. Basically, it's not moving. Talk to the professor about this and Mullen. This is a good example here. We'll use this for a little EDU. This is what you call barcoding. It's when a stock just sits in a price. These are basically algorithms trading a stock. Um, you'll see a lot when it's real flat like this. It's a horrible setup. But I just like this chart in general off a dollar. Again, this is where the offering hit. It was going to 2. They sold at 135, and the stock has not recovered. So I like it just back to that level. Cenex, CENX, way too beat down, 7 proven strong support, looking for the bleeding to stop soon. Update: I like the mid 7s to low 7 area. Just another one that's taking a little time, kind of need the aluminum futures to kick in. So as soon as Professor says aluminum 3 times, this should take off. We both still have the 12 range. I just like how 7 kind of confirmed down here. You do have a little bit of a lower low, so I would like to see not much of a strong pullback into the 6s, but the 6s is possible. Just play it in the uptrend through the 7s. Even the 7 to like 750 is playable. If we go to the weekly, even last week we had 650 to 760. So I had a dollar move last week. Once again, that's why we play the stocks, or that's why they're the theme. You'll see commonality of the stocks we play is that they do just offer decent range for the price they're at, with the caveat of being A plus, because if the catalyst comes in, there's range to have a potentially large move. Um, Next up, Stone Cold 316. Tell on our 316 line here. Looking for that to reclaim 350 next area. 270 is last low. Update. Currently at the reclaiming part. These moves don't happen in one day or overnight sometime. Um, it ran up to the 316. I think it went 320 maybe even here on Thursday it was. Yeah, 318. So you can see definitely on this 1 hour chart, it's trying to reconfirm this level here. We do have we do think this will go back to the fours, which is kind of mid candle of the 3 week drop it had. And then it does have the potential if oil comes back into play to maybe kind of test the $7 level. But for me right now, it's especially with these oils that are kind of cooling off, it's just played in the tradable range around support levels. And 316 is pretty good. Best way to trade this is the underside, in my opinion. If you can get anything under 3, playing it back to the 320 range, not a bad setup right now. Keep runners for a bigger move. That should also be a thing you're doing with some of these kind of plays, and this is a good one to keep a little bit of the runners in there. If you do get a 10% move, maybe leave 5 or 10% of your position in there and see what happens. Top confirming 7 for continuation. Strong flow. Oh, update. Strong flow now. So this is another one. We're kind of just sitting on the same spot. Flow read got better this week. Had a great pop again off the 7 level. If you played the 7 level last week, you got almost a full dollar move. Yeah, I like that. Obviously, my 693, if you know how I play, you know what that means, what I'm looking for. But this is a one-line chart for me right now. Move should happen. We're just looking for mid-candle here on the weekly. BlackRock Coffee Club. I like all the coffees, to be honest. So if you have a favorite one, don't read my note. Just play coffee. $8 level for me. Nice support. Won't stay under that. If offered long, 10 current resistance. Update. Mid-channel now. Flow read came into 12. So the flow finally came in a little bit stronger. A couple of these I've been beating the flow on, which we like to see. I still have the 10, the 8 to 10 channel that I like. Kind of see on the weekly that we had a inside bar. So great continuation, especially if you got in right here on the $8 level. We are mid-channel right now, but some of these plays take a little longer than a week. I probably would have took this off my list and my notes this week without the flow read to 12. That tells me that we should at least test 10 one more time next week. Cook, 424. I don't know why it says 24, not 25 to 450 ads. I like this should test fine. Can offer more if confirms that level. Update. Perfect consolidation last week. So let's go check out what we got here on the old, what was that? Dang it. Sorry about that. Cook. Yeah, we're plastering around this 440 level. Was that Cook? Really? Was that Cook? Yeah. We're sitting right here on this 440 level, but you do get dips down to 425. Hence the channel 425 to 450. Even the last high is, you know, 5.5, which I like from here. Weekly's looking really good. You kind of have a slow up trend line. Consolidation, big week down, consolidation. Hopefully this trend continues. Again, back to this 550 level. Kodak 460, one of my favorite levels, higher lows on the weekly and daily. Update, perfect bounce. Last high 575. This one was really good last week. Kind of one I know I would have played off my level for sure. And we got a good bounce. I'm just looking for the continuation here. Here's the last high as you can see it. See if this trend continues up. Again, one of the best levels. 7 still in the big picture, but the more that we have these top outs here right at 6, the less likely that's going to be in one move. So looking for that to maybe test above. I'll throw a line, get above this, into the 6s this week, just to kind of get back over this hump. Kind of two parts of one channel, probably the best way to say that. All right, into some new stuff here. Party, nice support. This week was hard too. Picking. I probably had 20 and I had to cut a couple back. So um, Party, nice support around $1.35, range to $1.70. Potential breakout prospect, range back to threes, as mentioned in voice. We talked a little bit about this one in voice. Um, Not necessarily sold me, but reconfirmed what I was seeing. Really like how this consolidation is on the daily. Got the inside bar on the weekly. Everything is just looking good that this level will hold, so that's why we want to add off of it, and this is the gnarly gap I see. Even half of that 250 is a dollar move. You're talking 60%. You get the full thing, that's 100% runner from this spot. That's what interests me in this. Especially when you know the catalyst was we were going through those crappy ERs and they had a helium shortage news, which affects their business because they sell balloons. Rad 650 to 7 channel forming with range to 9. Like the setup is a household name. We've been here before. It's nothing new. I just like the channel we have here forming now. You can kind of see it, the huge trend on the weekly since we've been here. We've had the 2 tests to 9. Flow also reads to 9, so I like that as well. Yeah, you can really see the channel here. Basically turning this to support to resistance right here, the $6 level. This is kind of when you want to be in and around in the long run. A little slower play. If news ever comes, definitely will be back into the double digits in my opinion. Go EV found support off of $1.75, like the 225, 250 rent zone, with continuation to 350 possible. EV pre-production, but getting close. One of the better sessions we talked about in voice was about EV. I need to go find that article I found about when the ones that don't produce vehicles are scheduled to produce vehicles, because they will be making the news, especially if they're down here in the dollar range. This is one of them. I believe they're scheduled to release at the end of the year. Yeah, it's pretty much all I'm playing. You can see the 350 spot right in here is the top end, but right now we're just playing the 225 to 250 channel, and we're in that. So might have to wait a day or two for this, or a little bit of pullback on this guy. Maybe Friday gets a race to open Monday morning. But I like the overall trend here, and this also hit the scans on the professor's side last week. And another one, Nikola, nice 5 to 725 channel, currently playing here to retest 6. So let's go look at that guy. Yeah, so here's your 5 to 725. That's the channel. It looks great on the daily. The channel is great on the daily, and again, I'm just playing it from here for the retest the 6. That's 10%. I think I caught it in a little bit of an uptrend going into the week, so I want to see what it does. Perfect buy spot for me would be Monday morning if we could get down here around the previous day low, which is 525. Rig 304, line from previous sessions, rain back to 350, flow to $4. This is one of the few ones that the flow is better than the TA right now, but I trust the flow, especially off a previous level. We have 438 on rig. It definitely is kind of breaking the trend line on the wrong side of that, but I just kind of trust this level, the $3 level, to give me something back into this range. 330s 10%, 360s 20%, 390 is 30%. So I just like that setup, especially if the flow is right. Riot, best range and shouldn't take much of a push from Bitcoin to get it there. Low 5s adds to play. The 7 test continues daily trend well. All right. Actually, I think I talked the professor into this one. He was on the fence about it, and I already jumped over the fence. So I like this a lot. You can see it does pull back. Maybe Friday gets erased, like I'm saying, because of the Bitcoin. But this 525 level holds well. We should get back to 7, which is just this top of this channel right here. And then we get to talking about the gap from there. But I just think these are a little beat down too much. And the more beat down they are, the quicker they will respond to Bitcoin prices. So I think at 22, 23, this thing just doesn't stop. the uptrend into the back to the $7 range. The other two I will mention, which is Mara, a little overextended, and then Hut, a little too beat down for anyone to pay attention to. So this would be in the Goldilocks theory. This one is just right. Save, a little late here, but trend too good to ignore. Love sub, not sun, sub 25 ads with 28 being the area to break out. This got that merger news. We did talk a little bit about that in voice, but if you look at this trend, it's ungodly. And then 28 just seems like the place where we're going to go back to and test. Pretty simple. Options are good. I'm cheating here and just looking to steal this trend continuation, hopefully to the 28 level. Uranium UEC $3 psych holding well, playable range to 360. Has room for bigger move if Schefter picks up. Little bit lagging, little bit of a risk here. Even mentioning this one, but this $3 level is holding really well. So I am totally looking for some pullback to that, and then playing it back to this 360. Kind of all over the place until you go look at the daily, and then you could just see 340 kind of stands out as a no-brainer, maybe even 350 is a no-brainer. So adding under that to play back to that spot seems like the logical thing to do while we wait for this sector to turn around a little bit. All right, let's real quick. I'm gonna run through the social plays that I got. I kind of just made a watch list. I suggest you two of this the top, maybe 5 or 10 socials that are out there. Just keep an eye on them. If you can also maybe put them into a screener or a scanner, that would be even better. But yeah, let's go over them. 80 in. I like the consolidation here around 250. Volume's dead, but I'm going to give that another week. Just kind of keep an eye on it. AERC is an unflipping believable gem. Play it off of 12 currently. The shorts are still kind of trapped in this one, it seems like. Banksy, great consolidation here off this 230 level. Another one that it just needs someone to mention it in their 100K chat room, and this thing should go test 3. BLBX, the opposite, great consolidation. Nobody knows about it. Playing it back to the 150, 170 level is what I like. You could probably get cheaper ads, but this thing will come back. It has every time for me. CLVS, we were on Clovis during the week. This thing should be active Monday. Tons of range left if you look on the weekly, and it is getting the volume currently. Carvajal was a previous winner. I'm probably pulling this next week if it doesn't perform. We did get under our 150, so I'm looking for this to bounce back almost immediately. If not, I will leave it for dead and check back in around $1. MTech, this hit socials last week. I think it's going to be in the mix this week. Has range back to about the 2 level. If it gets above that, it could get really interesting. Only had the volume the one day, so I don't know if it's a pump and dump, but as long as it holds, let's say the 120 level, I'm going to keep an eye on it. Redbox, y'all know about. I like the the $5 level, to be honest with you. It's bounced off there enough times for me that's a good spot. Rev, kind of cooling off a little bit until we break below what's this 450. I won't take my eyes off of that one. And Rev B, I think this is the better play of the most recent ones. You can see it. It's just holding well. Dollar ads are perfect on this thing if you can get in. I think we do have a bigger move, but yeah, we have a bigger move, but I think we got to get in the 2s and hold the 2s before that happens. All right, lastly, just a little bit of DD, not DD, sorry about that, a little bit of EDU. And this one, I apologize for people that don't use Thinkorswim because this is going to be a little bit more Thinkorswim. But your scripts and stuff in Thinkorswim, they also come up in this ladder. This is how I have this set up. I don't even trade from here, but I do use this. this shows you both your ask side and your bid side. Here, I'll use it like this. Bam. So you have your time and sales, and then you have this. So during the session, you'll have time and sales coming up here, which you just kind of pay attention to red or green. But you'll have the actual like number of bids that are waiting to be filled at each price level. You'll have the volume of bids that have already been filled, which I think that's super important. So using a level like this, when you see stacked bids just waiting, being under that, it is always a good thing. But why I'm pointing this out is these little dots right here. This basically tells you your levels on your chart on where your studies are at. So if you want to buy off the 9, or if you want to sell off the 13, or if you want to know where the previous day high low is at, this right here is flipping priceless. If I could add this to where I actually execute trades at, this would be the number one thing I add. So knowing the colors, having them set up so they make sense to you in your eyes, like bam, you can see the high a day, low a day. So this thing had 29-cent range. Whether you get them here, you get them up here in the top box somewhere, but just getting stuff coordinated so your triggers in your mind make sense. What are you trading with off of? Are you a 9 EMA rider? Are you just buying and selling on these 13 to 9s? Or excuse me, this 30 to 9 or 13 to 30 or whatever EMAs? Are you a 50 guy? Are you just I only buy on pre-market high, pre-market low? All that stuff, depending on how you play. Know how you play and then find a way to visually give it to you real quick. That's also why I have the RSI on my watch and why I have the 1330 dip thing I've been working on, because it's what I consistently trust. So find that. First of all, we need to find that for you, whether, again, VWAP, EMAs, high, previous high or low, Fibonacci, whatever you're using, our straight historical support and resistance TA, whatever you're using, finding that and then find a way to visually access that quickly. So yeah, I'm here to help with either of those because we're all a little different. I do suggest starting out with a 1330 EMA or like a 921 EMA, just because they're a little faster moving for day trades. And then obviously previous day high and lows. Those are the cookie cutter ones I would start with. And then asking us, for not necessarily help, but just if we see things the same way. And then when you get that lined up, it'll make your trading a little bit easier for you. If for one, you know the triggers, and two, you can visualize them. So for Thinkorswim users, I think this is an invaluable thing. And it's going to help you figure out whether you want to buy at 22 or 130. Sometimes that 8 cents is huge. All right, everybody. Let's have a great week. Trade safe. Always have a plan. CPI this week, so the market's definitely going to be volatile, but that's what we trade. We trade the volatility. As always, respect the lines, and most importantly, read the room.